By the end of this video, you're going to know how to skip a jig. There's one on the old jig. There we go, guys. There's a good chance that you've been trying to skip a jig for a pretty good while and just can't get it. Every time you think that you've gotten some progress, you backlash the crap out of another reel, and then you're mad and frustrated again. Today, I'm gonna try to help fix that. Skipping a jig is one of those things that rod and reel actually do come into play quite a bit. So this is a Shimano SLX DC. This just makes it easier. It makes it to where if I do get a backlash, it's not the end of my day. Also, the line. Line's very important with skipping a jig. The heavier the line, the easier it is to skip. It's harder to backlash thick line than it is thin line. So if you're on 12, you may want to step up to 15 or 20. I throw 20. The rod, this is probably the most important piece of the whole setup. This is a 6'9" heavy skipping special Fitzgerald rod. It's a heavy action rod, but it's got a fair amount of tip about it. You can see that there. That helps the bait load up and really be able to skip under docks. If you don't have a 6'9" heavy action rod, that's okay. I've skipped on everything from a 6'8" to a 7'3", medium heavy to heavy, all the way through it. And here's what I'll tell you. The shorter rods you're going to be much more accurate with. The longer rod you get, the harder it's going to be accurate. Distance is going to be fine. You're going to be, once you do skip it, you're going to be able to skip it for a really long ways. The problem is you're not going to be able to skip it exactly where you want most of the time. That's why I like this 6'9" rod. I can be very accurate with it. I would rather lose a little bit on distance and be able to put it where I want every single time than be able to skip it as far as I want to, but not have a clue where it's going. Now that we've got this setup out of the way, that's when the jig really comes into play. As far as jigs, you can kind of look at this one. You can see I've skipped it for quite a bit. What you're looking for is a couple things here. The less skirt material you have, the less drag you have in the water, which ultimately is going to help your distance for skipping. It's going to make skipping easier for you. Another thing, this is a homemade jig, so this is a wire tie. But you're going to want a hand-tied skirt. Otherwise, your skirt's going to be slipping down all day. You're going to fight it, and it's going to be a frustrating experience. Next thing, the head. You want a smooth head. So a football jig is not going to skip very well. An Arky head is going to skip really well. Same thing with like those ball head finesse jigs. Yeah, they'll skip. Are they the best at it? No. I've settled on an Arky head. I think it does a really, really good job, and it's kind of my do-all jig. Then we come to trailer. As far as trailer, what you're wanting is a lot of surface material. And actually, this isn't even the best example. This is a Craw Chunk, the junior size. I'm on a lake where the fish aren't really that big. I wanted something a little bit more finessey, so I went with this Craw Chunk. But what you want is a lot of surface area. So like an X-Zone Adrenaline Crawl, Strike King Rage Bug, 6th Sense Stroker Crawl, those are things that I've skipped a lot and had really good success with. It's a wide-bodied, flat bait. You got a lot of surface area. It's going to help you skip. Just like with a rock, the flatter the rock, the easier it is to skip. Same thing with the bait. Now that pretty well covers it on the jig. Now we're going to get into the whole technique. Before you even start your skip, stay as far off of it as you can while still being able to skip under there. As far as how much line to have out of your reel, if you're going to try to skip with that, you're going to have a nightmare. Really, about like that is what I have out whenever I'm getting ready to make a skip. What you're wanting, I don't know if you guys could see that there, you're wanting the bait to land as close to your entry point as possible. So my entry point there was that new piece of wood there. So I want to land that bait as close as I can to right underneath that new piece of wood. So whenever you're getting ready to make your presentation, you kind of want to pick a spot. So if I'm skipping on the front piece of this dock where that rope's tied off, I want that bait to start landing directly under that. Another tip that you can try, if you're gonna be skipping all day and you know that, go ahead, throw your cast out as far as you plan on skipping. Take a piece of electrical tape and put it on your spool. That way, if you do backlash, it can only go that far. So you don't ruin your entire spool, you may just ruin a third of it. That was a good example of a good skip there. Got it way under there. Whenever I go to cast, I'm loading up my bait and then I'm bringing it forward. So whenever I do that, after I skip the bait, you can see I'm bringing my rod tip up. That's going to let the line come off the water and you're going to have less drag that way so you can get better distance. And also, to be honest, if you have a bird's nest starting, usually whenever you do that, you can pretty well pull it out anyway. I hope that helps you with skipping a jig. Out of the whole thing, the rod is probably the most important. Put what I said into practice and you'll be able to skip as far as you want to under the next dock you come to, and you'll feel like the baddest son of a gun to ever pick up a bait caster. Hope that helped you. We'll see you next time.